Oh my god. Oh my god. They are finally here. Yeah, man. Yeah, yo, what's up, man? My name is Edgar, and today I want to talk with you guys about the new changes about the cards which are already in the game, like mostly classic cards. And yeah, they changed a lot of them, like, no, not too much, but they made some awesome changes, and I want to jump right into it. And first of all, I want to talk about the Ancient of Lore. So, here you see it. Before it was choose one, you either draw two cards or you store 5 health. And like the draw two cards is just so strong, man. Like you always went for it. And now I think it's like underpowered because you just draw a card, man. Like that's really not too good for a 7 mana 5/5 with a battle cry effect to draw a card. You can choose it. It gives you flexibility. That's one of the benefits which a lot of druid cards have. But I don't know. I think this nerf is a little bit too strong. But I think when would be like a 6 mana card, 5/5, draw one card, it would be a little bit too strong, you know. But no, I hate druid anyway, so it's totally fine for me. But yeah, Ancient of Lore won't be a card which you will play in every druid deck anymore, I think. Like you will see it rarely. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next huge druid change, man. And this is Force of Nature. And finally this shit gets reworked because I hated combo druid. Like I never played, well, I sometimes did play combo druid, but just when I needed to do the quest. And look at this. Summon 3 2/2 treads. Trends? Yeah, trends. That's all it does. They don't have charge, they won't die at the end of your turn. You just play it and you become, so you get 3 2/2. And I think I really don't know if it's a strong card. I think it's okay. Like it's balanced, it's okay. And like Roar is still a thing. I think that a lot of people will still play Roar in Druids because Roar is just in general an awesome card. And yeah, I think this change doesn't kill Druid, but it doesn't make it that stupid again that you always have to be like when you're at 14 HP, you always have to be in a defensive position, or when you have like 20 HP and the enemy has a minion on board, you always had to clear it because if you didn't clear it, you would probably die to combo, and that was so retarded. And they finally fixed this shit. Like Roar is still a thing. Roar is still pretty strong, and I think it's okay like this. And yeah, so the combo won't be an auto include in every deck anymore, and I think this change is awesome. Alright, and for the next card we have Keeper of the Grove. All they changed here were the stats, and they changed it to a 2/2 minion, and I think this is actually a little bit too much, but like we don't really know what the new expansion will bring because you will see it in some other cards which you won't really understand why they nerfed them like that. But I think the old gods thing will have a lot of death rattle effects, like which are really powerful, like copy this minion and all this shit. And silence will be so much more valuable because you will just be able to silence big minions. And so they kinda had to make this change. And yeah, like I don't think you will play it in every druid deck anymore. Like druid really had these cards which were in every deck, man. Like Keeper of the Grove was like in every deck because it was just so good. It's a 4 mana 2/4. Like it has the same stats as a Gnomish Inventor, and yeah, it's just somehow better, you know. But I think they nerfed it a little bit hard. Maybe a 2/3 would have been good at 2, but I don't know, man. But like I said, I don't play druids anyways, and it's fine. Like, yeah, it's fine. And the next nerfed card which we have is the Ironbeak Owl, and yeah, it's exactly the same like with the Keeper of the Grove. They just like I think you silence will be so good in the old gods that they kinda had to do something to nerf these silence gods, because a silence effect can really win you the game. It's really powerful. So they nerfed the Ironbeak Owl from a 2 mana cost minion to a 3 mana cost minion, which I think is actually okay. Like, yeah, we don't know what the old gods brings, and yeah, I think silence will be pretty powerful. And 2 mana to 1, which silence a minion is just simply a little bit too strong in certain decks or certain scenarios. So I think this change is also pretty good. Like, yeah, it's pretty similar to the Keeper of the Grove, but it doesn't kill the card at all. Like, I think in general they did a good job and not killing cards. You know, that's like there are games where, oh, this is OP, okay, let's just nerf it to death that no one ever plays it again, and yo, all cool, we don't have any problems anymore. And then other problems come up because this champ is too OP because he has no counterplay, because his counterplay got nerfed to death, you know. So I think they really did a good job in general. Yeah, it's still pretty playable, pretty viable. You just have to spend 1 extra mana, and I think it's okay. Alright guys, and now what all of you have been waiting for, the Big Game Hunter changes. And this really makes me happy, because Big Game Hunter was such a retarded card. It was so dumb. Destroy a 7 attack minion for 3 mana. Like, yo, this is like Shadow Word Death, and you play a 3/2? That's just insane, man. That's too much, man. And I think this change is pretty good, because and Big Game Hunter will still be pretty strong in the old gods, because like holy shit, did you see the cards? There are so many big cards coming out, and there will be so much control. And with the changes I show you, there will be a lot of less aggro decks, and so I think you still will play at least 1 Big Game Hunter, when not 2. Like, this is just what I think, man. Maybe not. Like, yeah, but I actually really like the changes, because the card was really retarded and broken as fuck. Like, let's be serious. It wasn't funny at all. Like, you play Dr. Boom and, yo, bam, Big Game Hunter. Where's your Dr. Boom now, man? You play whatever. No, Ysera not. Ysera has 4 attack. But let's say Gromash, clear minion, bam, Big Game Hunter. Where's your Gromash now? You play, I don't know, it was set, it's for 3 mana, it's just not, it's just too good, man. It was just too good, too OP. And so people were kind of forced to play aggro decks, you know? Like, they were like, yo, I'll play this big drop and it will get BGH'd anyways. I could play a aggro deck and just give a fuck about this Big Game Hunter, because I don't have any 7 attack minions, you know? And so they really changed that, and I think it's a good change. I really love it, man. So, but you know, it's still good. It's still good. Like, removing a 7 minion for 5 mana and you play a 4/3. Like, let's say compare it to a Shadow Word Death effect. You play 3 mana to remove the minion. You play 2 mana for 4/2. So it's still kinda good, you know? It's still pretty good. Like, I know Shadow Word Death also works on 5 and 6 attack mana, but it's kinda, you can kinda compare it. And it's still a pretty strong card. Like, it's not broken anymore, let's say it like this, man. It's not retarded anymore. So yeah, I like the changes to the Big Game Hunter. Okay, and let's go to the next change, and this will be the only Hunter guard which will be reworked. That's the Hunter's Mark. And yeah, it's actually not a big change. It won't nerf Hunters too much, but yeah, they just nerfed it that it costs some mana, and I think that's totally fine, you know. And I mean, it's not too bad, man. 1 mana isn't too much. Yeah, like Hunter's Mark for Zero is actually pretty good because let's compare it to how's this called name this card called? Yeah, Repentance. Repentance costs 1 mana and it just puts the health on 1 for the minion he plays. Like the enemy can kinda play around it and he can maybe play a smaller minion before he plays the bigger minion. And this isn't the secret, like you just put his HP to 1, and I think that was a little bit, like no one played it because Control Hunter wasn't really a thing, but I think they are pushing the Control Hunter a little bit, and yeah, it might be a little bit too strong, a little bit too good, so they just put it on 1, which is fine for me. I'll still play it probably in a Control Hunter because it's still pretty good. Okay, now we're coming to a change which I don't really agree with because like Blade Flurry was really a pretty strong card, but I think they nerfed it a little bit too hard. Like destroy your weapon and deals its damage to all enemy minions. It doesn't do damage to the face anymore, which it's kinda okay. Like it's okay because they wanna do the game more control-ish and everything, so it's okay. But for 4 mana, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like it was Rogue's only big clear, and it was really pretty powerful. But I think 3 mana would have been good too, you know. I didn't have to change it to 4 mana. Like that's a little bit too much. But yeah, I don't think that Blade Flurry is the only really board clear which Rogue actually has. Like you still have Fan of Nice, but it does 1 damage. Like it's a hard clear, you know. Like Flame Strike 4 damage, all minions, bam, rip. Blade Flurry, well, okay, maybe it's not even too bad, but oh man, I don't know, man, because Flame Strike costs 7 mana and does 4 damage to the minions. And if you want to do 4 damage to the enemy minions, you have to, like with this card, you have to dagger up, or you already have a dagger. Let's say you have the 3/4 dagger. You attack 3 times and then you make Blade Flurry. Then you spend, in total you spend 7 mana, well kinda 7 mana because you also attack 3 times. But yeah, you spend a lot of mana for 3 damage, and I don't know if this is worth, man. I really don't know. Like, yeah, the future will definitely show us if this change is too much or not. Like, I think it would be better on 3 mana, but yeah. Let's see, man, let's see, because I don't know how it synergizes with the cards which are coming out. So, yeah, let's hope they did the right decision, and I hope this won't be a dead card, because it was a pretty cool card. And it still is, but a little bit expensive, in my opinion. Alright, boys, now we are coming to the Face Hunter changes, man. RIP Face Hunter. You will never ever see play again, bitch. Because, okay. Knife Juggler, well, the changes isn't too big. Like, I really like the change, man, because Knife Juggler is really a cool card, in my opinion. Which, well, sometimes it can be annoying when you lose because of the Knife Juggler. But they lowered the stats of it, and I think that's a really, really good. Like, that's really good, because now you can trade in it with a 2/3 minion and it won't die. So that's pretty awesome. Like the card is still strong. Like they kind of nerfed cards, but they didn't make them unplayable. Like none of these cards will be unplayable at all, man. And that's so amazing. And yeah, that I like these changes, man. Like aggro won't be too much a thing anymore. We will see in the next two cards why. But yeah, I think the trading potential from Knife Juggler against bigger minions was really a little bit too strong. But like you actually just play a Knife Juggler because the Knife Juggler effect, and so the minion doesn't really have to be too strong, you know? That's what I want to say. The minion doesn't have to be too strong, but the Knife Juggler effect is still totally here, it's still totally cool, and I like it. I really like it, I really do. Okay, and here we come to the 1 mana cost minion which everyone hates, except the aggro players. And it's like it was really the strongest 1-drop minion, the Leper Gnome. And the nerf is actually like I really love it, man. All the changes are so good because Leper Gnome can't really trade into 2 mana drops anymore, and yeah, the death rattle effect is still the same, it just is a 1-1, and this is pretty good. Like, the death rattle effect, in my opinion, is pretty powerful, so it's pretty good, it's a 1-1 right now. So you can't play him, go to the face, like, the Leper Gnome would, like, almost always do 6 damage, because when you play him turn 1, you go to the face, and then he plays a minion, and then you go to the face again, and then his minion trades into your Leper Gnome, 2 damage to the face, 6 damage. Like, a lot of time this happens, man. And now imagine this same scenario with the new Leper Gnome. He attacks 2 times, 2 damage. So this is half the damage he did before, and the death rattle effect is still the same. Still a good death rattle effect. Will be played in aggro decks, but aggro decks won't be a thing too much anymore. But there is one class which I think will be pretty powerful aggro, and yeah, I'll show you why afterwards. But let's get to the next and last card, which I'm super excited to show you. Well, it's just the last cards of the aggro cards, and this is the Arcane Golem, and they did it more or less like a control card. So it doesn't have charge anymore, but it has 2 HP more. So Face Hunter will have no use of it anymore. Like, this card will never ever exist in Face Hunter anymore. Never, never ever. In no aggro decks. Never. And I really like this, man, because this card was pretty strong. But those were all the aggro changes. And like, let's think about Face Shaman. In my Face Shaman, which I play, I don't even play Arcane Golem. I don't even play too much Charge Golem. And the Shaman cards haven't been touched at all, man. And yeah, I think Shaman will be a pretty strong class. Like, it could be that they almost pushed it a little bit too much, because Shaman was always one of the weakest class. Naxxramas didn't really have 2 good Shaman cards, and GVG either, you know? Like, Shaman won't miss any of these cards. And with Whispers of the Old Cards, there are some awesome, insane Shaman cards coming out, in my opinion. And well, but these cards, which are awesome, are actually just control Shaman cards. So control Shaman cards will definitely be a thing, in my opinion. But aggro Shaman too, because no cards of the aggro Shaman have been touched, and yeah, it's still pretty powerful. Maybe they will change something to it, but let's see. Alright boys, let's go to the Molten Giant changes, and I don't know about these changes. So, they just highered the cost to 25. So at 5 HP you can play him for free. And if you're at 10 HP you can play him for 5 mana, which is still good, but it's not that awesome anymore as before. I don't really know why they did these changes, because Well, you never had this problem, right? Like Molten Giant, well, maybe in Reno decks it was pretty annoying. Yeah, probably because in Reno decks it's pretty good. Yeah, so it's actually, yeah, I think because of the Reno decks, they just changed it because it was just too strong to play a Molten Giant and heal to full life again. So like this, they kinda have to take the risk and get a little bit lower before they play their Reno in the turn. So yeah, will it still be playable in Reno Warlock or well in Reno Mage definitely because Reno Mage has Ice Block, doesn't give a fuck. 1 HP, play Molten Giant, heal to full life again, easy peasy. But like Reno Warlock, I don't know, man. I think you'd rather play your other card because you always have this danger of dying, you know? Unless you have a taunt or something, but I don't think that you will play it in Reno Warlock anymore. So it's actually okay, the changes, like I don't mind too much. It was a pretty good card, but now I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, it's not too bad, the changes. It's not too bad. And now comes the last card, which I wasn't really sure at the beginning why the fuck they did this. But, like, as I said somewhere at the beginning of this video, you never know what the future expansion brings, man. Like, what crazy new decks will come. And maybe there will be a minion. Like, I don't really know all the minions exactly, but I'm sure there will be a minion which will benefit a lot by just staying on the fucking board, like. So they just changed the card to give a friendly minion stealth until your next turn, and maybe this card will like a lot of you guys I'm sure never saw this card ever, but like if this card doesn't get played for some reasons, we won't really give a fuck because well no one played it in the past, but I don't know, man. I don't think that the card was too strong, but I remember when I started off Hearthstone, this card was pretty cool for me because I had my only legendary and it was Hogger. So I played Hogger and then I played Master of Disguise and I just let Hogger on the board. He didn't attack and every turn I just got a 2/2 with stun. And it could be that in Whisper of the Gods there will be combos like this which are more effective because I was like rank 20 when I had this deck. But I almost always won when I got the combo out because my opponent didn't have too good cards too. But what I'm saying is that you can really get a minion pretty big and pretty strong. And so I think the changes are okay. And yeah, this was it with the video, man. I hope you liked the video, man. This was it with this new Hearthstone video. I hope you liked it. Tell me in the comments below what you think about the changes, what card should have been changed, which didn't get changed, and what you think overall of the changes. And yeah, thanks for watching, man. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more Hearthstone. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. And yeah, peace out.